Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. The weather outside is absolutely gorgeous today, but honestly, I haven't even stepped away from my laptop because I am still vibrating with pure, unfiltered rage over what just happened on our screens. I grabbed a massive cup of coffee, sat down to write, and I just don't even know where to begin with this mess. We need to talk about the absolute disaster that is unfolding, so grab your favorite snack and let's get into it. So, I just finished watching the latest episode and I am literally shaking my head. I mean, what is John Finn Finnegan actually thinking? We all knew this was coming, right? We knew it. But watching it actually happen is just exhausting. And frustrating, so incredibly frustrating. I feel like I have been writing about this exact same dynamic for years, but somehow the writers always find a way to make it hurt even more. Finn has just made the most reckless, dangerous, and downright stupid move of his entire life. And that is saying a lot for a guy who once jumped in front of a bullet. But this is emotional suicide. Let's back up a second and look at how we got here. A few episodes ago, we saw Sheila Carter do what she does best, manipulate. She signed those divorce papers to free Deacon Sharp, making a big show of it. Deacon, bless his heart, is just clueless and relieved. He thinks the nightmare is over and he can finally move on with Taylor Hayes. But Sheila, she didn't sign those papers out of the goodness of her heart. She did it because she realized Taylor was a dead end. Taylor refused to be blackmailed into granting visitation rights. So Sheila pivoted. She marched straight to Finn's office at the hospital. She brought the signed papers. She brought the tears. Oh, the tears. The fake, delayed, crocodile tears that somehow, inexplicably, always work on this guy. And Finn just ate it up. He just sat there in his white doctor's coat and let her play him like a fiddle, a literal fiddle. I don't understand how a smart, educated medical professional can be so incredibly dumb when it comes to this one specific woman. She was crying about needing family, about how she has changed. Changed. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Nobody. Not the fans on social media, not me, not anyone with half a brain. But Finn has this blind compassion. It's like a sickness. He looked at those fake tears and his heart just melted. He was manipulated so easily that it actually makes me lose respect for his character. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh. He wants to see the good in his biological mother. But come on, let's be real. This is Sheila Carter we are talking about. The woman who shot him and left his wife for dead in a dirty alleyway. So after being completely brainwashed by Sheila's sob story, Finn decides to take action. He decides to do the unthinkable. He goes home to the Cliff House to talk to Steffy. But you have to remember the context here. You have to remember the timing, which is just brutal. Steffy Forrester Finnegan is already operating on zero sleep and pure, unadulterated rage. Hope Logan Spencer just pulled the ultimate defection. Hope secretly signed with Logan, launched Hope by Logan in a surprise ASAP fashion show, and completely destroyed Eric Forrester's highly anticipated haute couture return. The media is in an absolute frenzy. Forrester Creations is facing a PR nightmare. Steffi is in extreme damage control mode. She is furious. She is a ticking time bomb of stress and betrayal. And into this powder keg walks Finn. Steffi is probably pacing the floor, venting about Hope, venting about Katie Logan, just trying to hold her family's company and her grandfather's legacy together. She is fighting a massive corporate war, and what does her loving husband do? Does he comfort her? Does he tell her he has her back? No, he drops a nuclear bomb right in her lap. He actually asks her to give Sheila one last chance. He stands there in their beautiful living room, the home where they are supposed to be safe, and he asks Steffi to let Sheila visit their grandson, Hayes. I literally screamed at my TV. I screamed. You guys, I was yelling so loud my dog got scared. How could he, after everything? After the alley, after the shooting, after the constant terror. He looks at his traumatized wife, who is already buckling under the weight of the Forrester-Logan war, and says, "Hey, let's invite your attempted murderer over for a playdate." And Steffy exploded, totally, completely, and absolutely exploded. And honestly, she had every single right to. I was cheering for her. Steffy viewed this as the ultimate backstab. The deepest, most painful knife in the back, and it came from her own husband, the man who promised to protect her. The man who swore not that long ago that she never had to worry about him betraying her when it came to Sheila. He lied. He broke that promise the second Sheila turned on the waterworks. The argument that erupted at the Cliff House was fiery. It was intense. It was some of the best acting I have seen on this show in a long time. Jacqueline McInnes would acted her heart out in this scene. You could feel the raw pain, the exhaustion, and the sheer disbelief radiating off of her. She is dealing with the corporate betrayal of hope, the media nightmare, her grandfather's heartbreak, and now her own husband is siding with her worst nightmare. Steffy's eyes were blazing. She wasn't just mad, she was shattered. She looked at Finn like she didn't even know who he was anymore, and can you blame her? Then came the ultimatum. Steffy drew a hard, unforgiving line in the sand. She didn't mince words. She basically looked him dead in the eye and said, "It is your wife and your kids, or it is your murderous mother. Choose. Right now, choose." And I felt that in my soul. Yes, Steffy, put your foot down. Because this toxic cycle has to stop. This constant back and forth with Sheila has to end. Steffy cannot live her life looking over her shoulder, wondering when her husband is going to sneak his psychopath mother through the back door. She is a mother protecting her cubs. She is protecting Hayes and Kelly, and she is doing it all alone because Ridge is completely distracted right now. Ridge is off fighting his own wars, punching Bill Spencer in the face, and issuing ultimatums to Elektra Forrester over Will Spencer's violent outbursts. The whole town of Los Angeles is on fire, and Steffy is standing alone in her living room fighting for the survival of her family. But Finn, oh Finn, he just stood there. He looked like a lost puppy caught in the headlights of an oncoming truck. He was torn. He is actually genuinely torn between his family's happiness and his blind compassion for the woman who gave birth to him. I mean, what is wrong with him? Why is the biological pull so strong? Is it a psychological complex? Does he have a savior complex because he's a doctor? He thinks he can heal everyone. He thinks he can heal Sheila's twisted, dark mind with love and acceptance. But you can't. You can't heal evil. You just can't. And his hesitation, his inability to immediately say "You're right, Steffy, I'm sorry," is the most damaging part of all. His silence in the face of her ultimatum speaks volumes. It tells Steffy that she and the kids are not his absolute, unquestionable priority. And the creepiest part of the entire episode, the absolute most chilling moment, Sheila. Sheila wasn't even in the room, but her presence was suffocating. The camera cut to Sheila lurking in the shadows. And she was smiling, that evil, sinister, calculating smile. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows that by simply planting that seed in Finn's head, she has ignited a bomb inside the Cliff House. She knows her son's marriage is on the verge of total collapse, and she loves it. She feeds on the chaos. Sheila engineered this entire thing perfectly. She knew Taylor wouldn't cave. She knew Steffy was distracted and volatile because of the Hope situation, so she targeted the weak link. She targeted Finn's big, bleeding heart. And it worked. Her master plan is working flawlessly. She is watching the destruction of Steffy's marriage from afar, and she didn't even have to lift a finger to do it. Finn did all the heavy lifting for her. He brought the poison right into his own home. The fans on social media are losing their minds today. My timeline is just full of people dragging Finn through the mud. Divorce him, Steffy. Throw him out. He never learns. I've seen it all morning, and I get it. I really get it. How many times can a woman forgive her husband for bringing her abuser back into her life? Honestly, Finn is making Liam Spencer look good right now. And you guys know how much I complain about Liam. But at least Liam, for all his waffle boy tendencies, wouldn't invite a literal murderer to hold his child. Sometimes I zoom out and look at the bigger pattern of this show. The bold and the beautiful loves a good love triangle. We've seen Brooke, Ridge, and Taylor. We've seen Hope, Liam, and Steffy. But this isn't a romantic triangle. This is a triangle of trauma. Steffy, Finn, and Sheila. It's toxic. It is fundamentally, deeply toxic. And it feels so much heavier this time because Steffy is already so fragile. The corporate war with Logan Creations has drained her. She is fighting a war onto fronts. She is fighting Katie and Hope in the boardroom, and she is fighting Sheila in her own living room. It's too much for one person to handle. And let's not forget how much Hope's defection plays into this. If Hope hadn't betrayed Forrester Creations, maybe Steffy would have had the emotional bandwidth to handle Finn's stupidity with a bit more grace. Maybe she could have sat him down and calmly explained why he was being an idiot. But probably not, because it's Sheila, but the Hope stuff just amplifies everything by 1,000. Steffy's nerves are completely frayed. Every single person in her life seems to be betraying her right now. Hope betrayed her. Katie betrayed her. Even her grandfather, Eric, is a mess, throwing Donna out and demanding one-sided loyalty. The Forrester family is crumbling, and Finn just took a sledgehammer to the last remaining pillar of Steffy's sanity. So what happens next? What were the writers thinking leaving us on this cliffhanger? Will Finn pack his bags? Will he actually choose Sheila over his wife and children? I honestly don't know if the show will go that far, but they might. They just might. Finn is so deeply manipulated. He thinks he can fix her. He thinks if he just gives Sheila this 1 inch, she will finally be satisfied and leave them alone. But we all know she will take a mile. If she gets near Hayes, she will never leave. I am just so tired of seeing Steffy cry over this. I am. It's exhausting to watch a strong, independent, fierce woman be constantly dragged down by her husband's mommy issues. But it makes for great TV. I won't lie, I couldn't look away for a single second. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. I just hope Steffy stands her ground. Don't back down, Steffy. Hold that ultimatum. Make him choose. Make him realize what he is throwing away. And honestly, where do they go from here? Even if he chooses Steffy, the trust is broken. He went behind her back, let himself be manipulated, and then brought that manipulation into their home. How do you come back from that? Therapy? A long vacation? I don't think a trip to Aspen is going to fix this one, folks. This is deep, structural damage to their marriage. I guess we will just have to tune in tomorrow to see the fallout. But I have a feeling this is just the beginning of the end for Sin. Sheila is winning. The villain is actually winning, and she's doing it with a smile on her face. It's sickening, it's brilliant, and it is exactly why I can't stop watching this show. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you Team Steffy, or are you somehow, inexplicably, Team Finn on this one? I need to know I'm not the only one screaming at my screen. Until next time, I'm going to go try and calm down.